Gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Oh, hello there. Hey, I hope everybody's doing fine and want to thank you for watching us, Grown Man's Talking. I'm glad that everybody's here to join us. And we talking today about men. Men, we do go through a lot of things and we do hold things in and, we go through a lot and we're going to talk about that today. So without further ado, let me introduce King D. You the one about the idea, so let's introduce King D to the show. Come on in, King D. And also speaking today on this show is Mr. Jones. Now, Mr.
Yeah. Let's do it.
Hey, what's up, my brother? Mr. Carter.
What's happening there?
But me, Mr. Mac Jones, and King D, we're gonna talk about this and everything. Like I said, men, we go through a lot of stuff. We definitely go through stuff, and We are taught to be strong, and most of us don't even really talk about it. We just hold it to ourselves, and it can be something wrong at the job, relationship wise, or anything. But men do suffer and go through a lot of things, and so I'm kind of glad that King D brought this up because people say we don't too much talk about what men go through. So tonight we definitely gonna talk about that. So King D, what gave you the idea to bring this up? Well, it's a good topic. I'm glad you brought it up. So how did you hear about this, and what made you want to talk about this topic today? Are you muted? You're muted, King D.
Right.
There you go.
Can you hear me? All right.
Yeah, I got you.
It basically came up like one day, like I was just literally just thinking like men don't get the platform where we are able to express our emotions
Right,
and or express how like how we feel because
right,
we always get shut down or shut out. You know what I'm saying?
right.
So that's pretty much where that came from.
Okay. And King D, I agree with you because we do go through a lot of emotion, and we are taught to just to hold all that emotion in and everything. Mr. Jones, what you thought about today? What about us talking about men's feelings, what we go through?
Well, there isn't a platform for it because we're mocked and ridiculed for having any type of feelings. Not even more so by men,
Mm-hmm.
because if you're really a man, you understand that a man is going to have feelings and things that he goes through. But a
Right.
man doesn't want to look soft in front of a woman. He
Exactly.
doesn't want to be looked at as um, easy or vulnerable,
Mm-hmm.
soft, any of those type of things that would emasculate him as a man. And so,
Mm.
even if we did have a platform to talk on,
Right.
the worry would be that if we get to talking now that these women that's going to come in and be looking, it's always going to be somebody with a negative response
Right.
that
Hmm.
no matter how positive other women might be talking, it's that one woman that's going to come in and say, see, I told y'all they this and that, and without going deep into it. But yeah,
Right.
that's my thought on it.
Hey, I definitely agree with you on that, and
Right.
you're right. You had that one person saying something negative about what men go through. They even said men shouldn't cry. We should
Hmm.
always be strong. I ain't gonna lie. I've been through some stuff, and I shed some tears. It's just a lot of men we just don't really talk too much about it. We kind of
Hmm.
just hold things in. That's just what we do. Because just like King D, Mr. Jones said, we don't want to seem weak. uh, some women will look at you and say you ain't strong enough or whatever. But we go through a lot of emotion every day. We dealing with stuff on the outside world, and sometimes we dealing with stuff when we come home. So it's a lot, and we just need to talk more about it. But since we have this platform we've been blessed with, we can start doing stuff like that. We can start talking about it, and I just want to say, if there's anybody out there that might want to call, ask questions, please be free to call, text, what have you, because this is our chance. This is men's chance to get out and really talk about this. But there is any men that's looking at the show, you're more than welcome to call the show, and we can all talk about it. Um, Mr. D, what else you might have to put on this show that we talking about men's feelings and everything?
Basically, like okay, on the mentally part,
Mm-hmm.
like men have like we don't express our feelings at all, period,
No, we
because
no
that's
we
what we were raised up like for our fathers. Our fathers pretty much raised us where you don't cry, you don't show
right,
emotions, you
right,
remain hard at all time. And
right.
then when we get into relationships, and then
Mhm.
those relationships can have us where like it's a mental thing. Like your
Yes, it is.
significant other could be stressing you out, but you will never talk about it because you were taught not to. You know what I'm
Mm,
saying?
yeah.
So then you got all of this stress, and then that's what spills over into, hey, I'm emotional, but I
Mm-hmm.
can't express my emotions because that's a sign of weakness. So
Right,
you have to build up this wall. And when I posted the post,
right.
it just it just got to the like different men, were coming in telling their stories,
Mm-hmm.
like, how what caused them to have
Certain
the different
emotions.
situations,
Yeah.
different moments. And the one that stuck out to me the most was pretty much this guy named Richard, which I did reach out to him personally, but I don't know
Right.
if he's gonna. But he had a long story to sum it up. It was like basically he has so much. Sorry, that was
Oh, that's
loud.
okay. You fine.
He had so much. Hold on, because he gonna come to me. Hold on one second.
Okay. And while we waiting on King D to get back from this thing, he's right. We, men do have a hard time talking. I was raised from the old school that you just keep things and deal with it.
Yeah, you just gotta
Yeah,
stick
go
it
ahead,
out.
King D. Yeah.
but yeah, like I said, it was a guy named Richard on there, and he was basically
Mm-hmm.
telling his stories where he, had so much stuff going on, and then his parents started getting sick, and then he had
Mm-hmm.
to take custody of his daughter, and
Right.
then I think he was going through a divorce. He
Oh
just had
wow.
so much stuff going on, and then but he couldn't express it because
Right.
he didn't want to seem weak. But you have to express. You have to talk to somebody about
Yeah. Yes.
that kind of stuff. But as a man, you just can't. It's not something that men do. So
Yeah.
it's crazy.
You're right, and I agree with you and on that. We all talk like that, and I think as I was a young man, I always did that. But as I got older, I kind of learned that it's nothing wrong, sharing your thoughts. Nothing wrong talking about it. You can talk about it. You don't have to deal with it alone. And we go through a lot of stuff that we do deal with alone. That means work, and just like you said, King, the relationships that has a lot to do with it, because you can
Yes.
be in a bad relationship and it just doesn't make it. It just make it worse, and you just don't know how to cope and how to deal with certain things. And if you don't talk about it, it's like a cancer. It just get worse and
They eat
worse.
up at you. Yeah.
It definitely will. Well, King. Mr. Jones, what else you want to add to this topic that we're talking about?
Um, there's a lack of understanding on emotion, if you ask me.
Right.
Under Emotion is an intelligence, right?
Mm,
It's not just a feeling, because a feeling is also a thought. You understand
right.
what I'm saying?
Right.
So, with that being said, if you don't have emotional intelligence to some degree, then to another degree, you amplify a mental illness.
Right. Right.
In other words, ladies, when you tell your sons, stop crying like a little girl,
That part. Yeah.
you are teaching your son to be mentally ill, but you don't understand that.
Mm-hmm.
When you tell him, you supposed to do this like a man, you supposed to do that. Why you acting like you always acting like a little girl?
Mm-hmm.
You are teaching him that he's emotionally um, unintelligent, and you're also teaching him that because he's emotionally unintelligent, that he's mentally ill.
Right.
And then, as that child grows up and develop these hardened feelings,
Mm-hmm.
as time goes along, them children that you're teaching to take it like a man or to stop acting like a little girl has to come
Mm-hmm.
out into this world and then date women.
Right.
And
Right.
so you have to understand, when you say, well, these men today are so this and those so that, who do
Wow.
you thought their first teacher was?
Yeah. That's
And it's
I.
so crazy that you say that because I just had that. I just I want to say about 2 weeks ago, my
Mm-hmm.
middle son, he was just
Right.
crying, crying. I said, "Stop crying like a little girl." And then I had
Oh,
to catch myself. I was like, "Oh shoot!" Like like
right.
I had to remember how I was raised. I couldn't show emotion. I couldn't cry. I could, you know what I'm saying? So
Yes.
and that same thing, I pretty much had a flashback of when I was a kid and someone told me that, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Stop crying. You're a boy. Boys don't cry. And so
Mm.
when my son a couple weeks ago, he was he was going through his little phase and he started crying, and I was like, "Stop crying like a little girl. You ain't no little girl,"
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
it just got to the point where I had to take a seat, take a back seat and like, dang, and so that's when it comes down to gentle parenting. So
Right.
I've been practicing it. It's getting kind of hard, but
Yeah, 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 it is. It's a lot, King D. It's very hard. You
I'll be trying to
raising
gentle
children.
parent.
Yeah,
Yeah, but like they say, gentle parenting is the best parenting. It's hard to gentle parent because you're accustomed to
right.
the rough, being a rough and strict parent,
Hmm.
and and I had to, like I said, I just had to take a back seat and like, okay, it's okay to cry, just tell me your emotions, let me
Right,
know what's wrong.
right. And you're right about that. And Mr. Jones definitely touched on it when boys, young men live in maybe single household and the father may not be around. And some women, yeah, you got to understand when you tell a young man that don't cry, that makes you weak. You don't know that's an impact on him in life. That it just changes life, and then he just in a way is taught for him not to show his emotions and keep things to himself.
Mhm.
And that's why we got a lot of men out here just the way they are acting up. But we would definitely be back
Ooh,
2 and 2 to finish
let's
the
do it.
discussion. We'll be right back, y'all.
In a lot of ways, a hurt man is worse than a hurt woman. And what I mean by that is when a woman hurts, when a woman gets hurt, a lot of times she goes within. She goes within, she shuts down, she denounces love, and she just wants to be alone. She wants to be alone, or a lot of times she goes and she attracts again what she had, and then she gets hurt again. And she continues this cycle with the same type of men who put her through the same things over and over. But to the contrary, what we notice is hurt men end up hurting more people. In most cases, when a man is hurt, he then extracts revenge against several other women. And if you pay attention to the landscape and listen to the difference of the conversation between the men and the women on the podcast that are kind of buzzing right now, what you'll notice is that a lot of the women who have been hurt, they've been cheated on, they've been beat on, they've been mistreated, a lot of them are self-sabotaging. When you listen to them talk, a lot of them sound like they have Stockholm syndrome, which I don't know what that is, but it sounds good and we're going to use it right there. But it sounds like they want to be further victimized. They go from being cheated on and dogged out and mistreated to saying things like, well, I'm okay. They say they're okay giving a man a threesome. They're okay being a man having multiple women. They're okay with paying for their own dates and paying all of the bills or paying their own bills when they're in a marriage. And they're okay as long as the man is open and honest. They're okay with one night stands, with a first night stand. They're okay with all of this stuff. And so it's kind of like a lot of women become even more victimized after being hurt instead of what we think would happen, which we would assume it'll go to like being angry and wanting revenge and just out for blood. But that's not oftentimes the case. And even when we look out like in the media, in the celebrity world, we don't see a lot of women who've been hurt go out and get revenge. And so it has to be asked like, okay, well, why can't men heal? Why do men go out and want all this revenge? And it really stems back to not being able to express ourselves, not being able to cry in public, not being able to cry in private a lot of times, not being able to open up, not being able to be vulnerable, to be quote unquote weak, or soft, which isn't weak and soft. It's really just being open, being authentic, being real. Men aren't allowed to feel. So when you're not allowed to feel, that means you're not allowed to heal. And when you're not allowed to heal, then that means you go out and you make someone else feel so that they can't heal. And this is why so many, nearly every war has been started by an upset man, an angry man, a man who is not allowed to process his feelings and to really feel what he's feeling. He has to lash out. This is why we have so much DV in society, where they say every 9 seconds a woman is going through this. This is why, because men, oftentimes we do not feel. And so we go out, and it was a book by the title that said, Men Don't Heal, We Hold. And what the brother was talking about is how we go out and we use women as a means to soothe our pain. And really all it is just getting high. That's all it is, because the same chemical is being released from the orgasm as it is when a man is intimate with a woman. And a lot of people don't know that. Most men don't know that, and most men don't realize it. So he may think like he's just going and being a man and just doing what men do, but actually it's like he's crying out for help, but he doesn't know how to actually ask for help, and to go to therapy or go to coaching or find a mentor and talk through what he's feeling and really talk through it. And
thank you for tuning in, everyone over there at Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. Just the FYI, we starting after today, we will no longer be streaming through Facebook. So please make sure that you look out for the link on YouTube, on Facebook, so that you can still stay connected. Make sure you tune in tomorrow, as we will be on the Unspoken Heart Discussion Hour, and we will talk about I Am Not Your Enemy. Why do women go off on men the way they do? Make sure you tune in, and we'll be here for you.
Thank you, Spicy. That video, I agree with some of the things the young man was saying. One of the things I agree with what he was saying is, like, a lot of men, especially in the Black community, we don't go seek therapy. We don't go talk to somebody about it, get professional help, because a lot of things he was saying when it came to the sex, a lot of men, when they go through stuff, when they hurt, they do that. It's just like people that have a hard time with alcohol or drugs. I mean, it just depends on how they affect you. Mr. Jones, what's your thoughts about what the young man was talking about in the video?
Well, let's talk about what you just said.
Right.
And I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Let me ask you, how do you get Frankenstein to go to therapy?
You know what? You're right. It'll be hard to get Frankenstein to go, but
yeah, absolutely, and possibly he ain't gonna end up there at all, because this is just a shell of a creature.
Right.
See, a lot of people don't understand that the men that reach their full potential in this life,
mm-hmm.
they have emotions.
Right.
They have their intuitions about things. They wasn't taught. They was taught to be strong men, but on the same side of that, they were also taught that in times of pressure, you don't let that pressure build up to bust you.
Right.
But when you have a man that's walking around here emotionless, That is a creature that is walking around with pent up frustrations, pent
Right.
up failures, pent up all these type of things that then went on in this person's life. You
Mm-hmm.
know, okay. So let me ask one more question, right?
Right.
So let's say where there's millions of platforms where women can go and talk about SA. I'm not going to say it because I want to keep this clean because I really want this message to get out there.
Right.
Where does a man get to go and talk about his essay when he's been essayed by a family member or by a babysitter or by an older woman or by an older? Where does he get his chance to express his emotions about things like that? And that right there, that one thing right there, if
Mm-hmm.
you can't answer where he gets to go and express them emotions at, as a woman, think of how that pressure builds up in you. And that's 10 times what a man goes through when he goes through something like that.
Wow.
Exactly. Exactly.
I have to agree with you on that. That's keeping it real. And Mr. Jones, I agree with you 100%. It's it's like a ticking time bomb. Some men out here like a ticking time bomb because of the weight that's been pinned on their shoulder, and it's so hard to deal with so many things, responsibility, and the things that we go through. And you're right, we don't have too much of a platform or to talk about it. And like you said, Frankenstein, yeah, it'll be hard to even get somebody to go talk to a psychiatrist about this because then they're afraid what somebody gonna say. Oh shoot, he weak and he's crazy. He gotta go talk and get help from a psychiatrist. His mind's not strong enough. And actually, that's just not true. I mean, every man is different. We all go through our nightmares and storms and everything. I know what I have. I know I've been to some stuff, and I was one of those men that I'll smile, but you wouldn't see me cry. I'll come to the room and let it out, or what have you. But it does. It affects us in so many ways, and a lot of men out here today they are hurt, but they don't know how to express it. So King D, what was your thought on the young man's video?
The video was
Yeah, that was a deep video, man.
the video was pretty okay. He was saying some real factual stuff.
Right,
But what always sticks out to me is when with the emotion part.
right.
Because, and this is okay. Short story. I ain't trying to hold everybody up.
Oh no,
Okay, so my oldest son now, everybody know he was sick and he was, passing away.
right.
And like I did not show, like when I came to work, no one ever knew that my son was I got a dying son in the hospital, but I'm
Right.
coming to work like nothing's wrong. I'm smiling, I'm happy, I'm this and that there, but deep down inside, I am dying. Like I'm
Right.
like, my mind is gone. And it just goes to show the way I was raised. You know what I'm saying? I was raised to everything I have to handle on my own. I never had a platform like Mr. Jones was saying. I never had a platform where I could, or a group of people, other than people that I was raised with or whatever. I never had a group of people where I can say, oh, this is what I'm going through. This, my son is in the hospital, they gave him 2 weeks to live or whatever. It never happened. And so then when my son finally passed away, everybody was at work was like, when was his son even in the hospital? What happened? Because they never knew it. No one ever knew. And I just never expressed that. I never showed that. And then even at my son's funeral, I was like trying to act, trying to act a little hard. You know what I'm saying? I was crying, but I was trying to act a little hard because I didn't want everybody to see the weakness. I want to fall over the casket. That's my, I just couldn't because that's just, I was always taught to keep everything inside. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So that's just what that is.
And you're right, King D, because we are taught to keep everything inside. And like I said, we hold those emotions in when it comes to crying, because like I said, Mr. Jones said it too, they'll look at you as being weak. And like I said, ever since we was brought up as young men, we are taught to be strong. We are able to handle whatever comes our way. And we can handle a lot of stuff, but we only human. I mean, we have feelings just like women have feelings. We have bad days just like women have bad days. We just don't show it as much. I mean, it hit us like a ton of bricks. You wouldn't know it unless we break down and talk about it or tell somebody we are close. But this is just something that a lot of us go through on a daily basis. I mean, we just go through a lot, and we just try to do it the best way. Yes, Mr. Jones.
I, I'm sorry, brother.
Oh,
King D,
yeah.
man, salute to you, brother.
Yeah.
It couldn't have been me though, man. Because listen to me, I got one son.
Right.
It would have torn my world in half.
Yeah.
And I've gotten to the age and to the experience where I don't give a damn who think I'm soft,
Right. Right.
weak, or vulnerable.
Mm-hmm.
I love Malik Nosantelli to death.
All
And
right.
and that I named him Malik because Malik in Arabic, if you say Malikio Madin, that means master of the day of judgment. I named him after God's.
Right.
I
Right.
named him after one of God's attributes.
Mm-hmm.
There is no way that one of God's attributes pass away. And I'm just, listen, I am the worst person on the planet to think I'm going to be happy. It's
Yeah.
just, I'm sitting over here with half tears in my eyes right now, just
Right.
thinking,
Right.
like, what if Malik passed away?
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Man, I would lose my. There's no more purpose left for me here. I'm sorry. It's time to go. Because
Yeah.
I need to talk to God and ask him why he took
Yeah,
Malik.
even to this day, like even to this day, you know, I often, yeah, thank you. Even to this day, like I sit and I think about, you know, my son, my eldest son. I sit and think about him, you know, all the time.
Right.
I've never expressed like public. This is my first time even saying it on a public platform that my son passed away. I'm a very private person, and
Yeah.
so
Same here.
Same
so
here.
it's so, and that's another thing that got to the point to where, you know, with my job, because they,
Mhm.
you know, other than Teresa, I mean, I know it's not a secret. Other than Teresa, she's a really good friend of mine,
Right.
and she knew Dwight. You knew,
Yeah. I knew. Yeah.
you know, because y'all are, you know, real close with me. But
Yeah.
everybody else, no, I would not share that with nobody. You know, nobody ever knew,
Yeah.
and so like I said, like even to this day, I still have like days, you know. So I still
Right.
have my
Right.
son been gone for what, how many
About
years?
4 years, I believe.
Yeah, about 4 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's been gone for a minute, and I still, like to this day, I still be like, dang, you know, I still catch myself crying. But I guess what? I'm
Mhm.
always by myself. I'm never in front of nobody. I'm
Right.
never, you know. I hold it back so much, but he stays on my mind consistently. But like you're saying, that goes to show how men are raised, how we are, we are embedded to not show emotion. We're just embedded, and it's embedded in me, which I'm trying to, like Mr. Jones, I'm trying to break myself free.
Right.
But
Right.
I'm trying, and you know, I like this comment, Mr. Whoever Lee Jones says, if a man can't cry, he can't heal or teach. That's very, very, very true.
That's true. That's
very true.
Absolutely.
Like,
Shout out to Mr. Jones.
Yes.
Yeah, that really touched me. Like I was like, yeah, that's the comment right there.
But let me tell you
Yeah.
something. This is the problem. This is the problem that happens within there, right?
Mhm.
This is what gets me. Let me tell you something. Where is it a written rule? Because I'm looking for it. I've been looking for this written rule, and I haven't been able to find it.
Right.
Where is it that we got to be strong for everybody else? Because it's hard to just be strong for
Yeah.
us.
That
Yep.
part right there. Yeah.
But everybody always talk about we got to be strong for everybody else.
Yeah.
Show me where it's at in the rule book.
Wow. And,
Even-
Mr. Jones and King D, you're correct. I mean, you're right about that. And King D, I can relate to that in a way because, you know, just like you said, because when my mom passed, I just couldn't do it because I knew I've been a mess.
Yeah.
And I didn't want nobody to see me that way. You know, I just couldn't do it, because I was afraid what everybody would say. Well, you know, Dwight's over there crying, he's showing all this emotion. And like I said, men are just raised different. We like Mr. Spock on Star Trek, he just don't show no emotions. You just stay strong. But it is okay to cry. And we, you know, no man should be ashamed to cry or show any emotions. And we have to break that because we are taught to just be men and don't show no type of emotions, and it's just wrong. We should. It'll heal the soul because it's like a cancer. It'll just eat you up alive. It'll just eat you up alive. So you was gonna say something until I went on. So go ahead, King D.
I'm sorry. You said what?
You was gonna say something before I.
Yeah, you said I think you or Mr. Jones said we have to be we have to, I'm sorry, we have to be strong for everybody else. I was going to use the example of if my, because that's the only traumatic experience, or major traumatic experience I had was with my son. So I have to go back to that. He, even at his funeral, I mean, I was like, the moment that he passed, everybody's crying and wailing. I'm supposed to be the one crying and wailing, but like the whole family's in the room, everybody's crying and wailing. I'm the only one like, oh, don't cry. Ain't nobody consoling me. I'm consoling them. I'm like, but and then one of my play moms anyway, she was like, I watched you at that funeral. You were being strong for everybody else, but it's no one that was strong for you. You was never, you couldn't break. Like yeah.
I'm sorry to come in on it, but then where's the mental illness in that? That I can't cry about my baby, man. You can't tell me that my baby ain't important to me like he is to his mother.
Right.
So if if his mother lost him and his mother was crying, and this is my seed too, and like I said, my only seed, my only son. I ain't saying my only seed, but this is my only son.
Right.
I lose my only son. Do you know ain't nothing? No, you can't tell me nothing.
Yeah. Right. And you have every right to cry and show up, and because that's you. You love your son, and I just want to let the men know it's nothing wrong with crying. It doesn't make you weak. We all should cry more. It'll just help cleanse our soul out a little bit more, and because this is where men sometimes women sometimes they say, well, the man got a bad attitude or he's this and that. No, the man's going through so much.
Absolutely.
It's hard to be strong. So when you got all that burden and weight on your shoulders, you don't know how to act. You just out
listen.
there.
Listen. I hate to be butting in.
No,
fellas.
Go ahead, my brother.
How do you be strong about losing a child?
Exactly.
How do you be strong about losing a wife? Exactly. How do you be strong about losing a mother or a father or a sister? Where's the strength in it? Somebody, again, point it out in the rule book where I'm supposed to be strong, but you can break down.
Yeah, that part.
Yeah.
Point it out.
Yeah. Yes.
But it just goes, that spills over into being mentally damaged.
Right.
Right. It's just damaged. And I'm still healing myself from all the childhood trauma, trauma that I had to go through, with my kids and da 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 da. I'm still trying to get over all of it, and like everything.
And I'm supposed to carry, and we supposed to carry all that.
And we
can't do it.
We have to. Who else is gonna
carry it? Don't talk about it. Don't say nothing about it. Just put it in your back pocket and let it make you a stronger person. Man, kiss my ass. I'm sorry. I was trying to be real. Kiss my ass. I'm going back to. I cry, and I cry when I need to.
Yeah.
Whenever I need to cry, I'm gonna cry.
Yeah.
That's what it is. I cry over. Listen here. Listen. Call me what you want to, but run up and find out. I cry about movies, certain songs I hear that remind me of something.
Yeah.
I cry for certain thoughts about certain people that are gone, that I miss, that are no longer here. Listen, I'm a cry. I don't give a damn what you think about me. Run up and find out.
Hey, I feel you. Ain't nothing wrong with that. I agree with you, John. I cry. I know I cry when ain't no more pumpkin talks. They're taking my. Look, seriously, I want to cry when I go.
And with that,
man, I want to cry.
And with that, sir, we got to come back in 2. You hear us? You hear us?
We got to pay these bills. We'll be back.
We also have issues with our mental health. 49% of men report that they feel more depressed than they let their friends know. 49% of men feel more depressed than they allow the people around them to see. We have this idea of the masculine man needing to be this strong pillar that can't be broken. And yes, we should aim to be strong as men. But when you are struggling, you need to You need to give yourself a break. Your mental health is so important as a man. Your mental health matters as a man. That caring about your mental health does not make you a pussy. You need to take care of yourself. One of the main things that I talk about on this channel is the importance of having good mental health. You have to be in good mental health. You need to take care of yourself. You need to. We don't open up about it. We keep everything to ourselves. We try to put on this macho face, this I'm strong. I'm perfect. This world can't hurt me. I have no emotions. I'm fine. We try to put on this stoic face that we can't be harmed, that we're impenetrable. But that's often not the case. And women, they experience mental health issues too, but they go and talk to their friends. They have those connections around them that they're willing to talk to. They open up because they don't have this silly barrier in place that makes them afraid of being vulnerable. Sometimes you need to be vulnerable because that is what's going to allow you to move past the pain that you're feeling. Because if you never actually open up and deal with the pain that you're facing head on, then first of all, you never bring it beyond your subconscious and it just lingers down below the surface. So you never fully address it. But there's also the fact that when you actually bring it out and talk about it, that A, it makes you feel better because you're actually connecting with someone else. But B, when you talk about it, that forces your brain to begin looking for solutions to that problem. There's so many benefits of opening up and not just keeping everything so closed in within yourself. But my point is that you need to focus on your mental health as a man. If you are going through struggles, don't go through it alone. Don't go through your pain alone. Open up. Find somebody you can talk to. You need to have someone you can talk to for help when you need it. Your mental health is so important. It's so important. Oftentimes as men, we try to focus so hard on pursuing goals and trying to achieve things, but we don't get our head on straight first. And what you need to realize is that if you don't have your mental health in order, then you're not going to be able to pursue your goals. You're not going to be able to live a beautiful life, because even if everything else in life is perfect, if your head isn't on straight, then it's not going to feel perfect. Everything's going to feel shitty. You are going to self-sabotage. You are going to destroy all the good things in your life if you don't have good mental health. That will infect everything. It will infect everything. We use drugs and we use alcohol and we use all of these self-destructive habits to try to avoid the pain and distract ourselves from the pain rather than just dealing with the issues head on. We don't talk to anybody. We don't look for solutions. We just distract ourselves with BS. And I did the same exact thing when I was in the military. And when I hated my life, I was doing drugs and I was getting drunk and I was just doing all these things that I knew were terrible for my mental health, but they distracted me from the pain of the moment and allowed me to feel better for a split second. It made my life so much worse. It allowed me to distract myself for a split second. But as soon as that was over, I felt worse than before because I knew that the issues weren't being addressed. I knew that my mental health wasn't being fixed, that the things that I was doing were just forms of avoidance. We deal with so many different things as men. We're expected to be the leaders and to provide financially and to be the strong men and to be masculine and to take care of the people around us and to do so many things within society. But at the same time, we're oftentimes shamed for being men. And this causes a crisis of identity where we don't know what we're supposed to do as men. A lot of men are confused, and that's oftentimes a piece of why we have poor mental health, because we don't know what our place is in society. We don't know where we belong oftentimes. And I would love nothing more than to just give you some quick Band-Aid solution that just magically patches up all of your mental health issues. I would love that, but that's not real. No such thing exists. The pills, the drugs, the one night stands, the alcohol, none of those things are going to fix your mental health issues. Those are just going to make things worse. And it's going to cause a downward spiral that destroys you, that destroys your life, that destroys your happiness. Those things aren't going to help. The medications aren't going to help.
Y'all see us.
Tune in live tomorrow as we will discuss on the Unspoken Heart Discussion Hour. I am not your enemy. Women going off on men. And also, just as a reminder, we have the Christmas raffle going on where we are going to be raffling off,
Wait a minute.
pulling for a drawing for the 55-inch screen TV. If you donate towards the battered women and children's shelter, Pampers, bottles, and baby wipes are needed. Thank you.
Mm.
I
Yes,
want to say
indeed.
hi,
Hey,
y'all.
Mr. Carter, how you doing there?
You did.
Can I get my theme music?
Hey, don't even ask me. Don't even ask me. You know it's
I
coming.
know
Just
about
continue
that.
talking.
Hey, look at this guy. Don't he look handsome? Look, I just hooked him up. So let us get that theme music.
Hey, I got you. So you just be ready when it come on. That's what I'm saying because I'm trying to pull it up as we talk.
So happy
I'm
you
pulling
ready
it
to
up as we talk because you ain't been here, so I didn't know if you was here.
I know it, man. I'm sorry. I was trying to get in, but we was busy tonight.
Absolutely. Hey, you got to do what you got to do.
Right,
Look at that
right.
young man there. Check me out, brother. Shaw, Jack.
Okay, I want to really address something really quick, and I want to let you have it back real quick.
Go ahead.
Mr. Howard, that phrase that you use is a parrot phrase. I want to correct you on that, and it's not me. I'm correcting you as a brother. You know, there is no such thing as toxicity in masculinity. Masculinity is strong by itself.
Mm-hmm.
If there's toxicity involved, it doesn't the toxicity
Mm-hmm.
does not be toxic to the masculinity. It only makes the male toxic. So you have a toxic male, not toxic masculinity. You could never change masculinity. It will
Right.
always stand on its own.
Right. You're right about that, Mr. Jones. And I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say one thing that men need to do more often. I know a lot of men don't like going to church, but I suggest a good church. Now, I went to therapy, and that helped me out a lot, especially with the PTSD and the mental things I was going through, and it just made my life a whole lot easier. And like the young man was saying in the video, you don't have to be doing all this, pills and drinking, because that's what they do to numb what they're going through. And sometimes you got to do it deeper than that. And I would advise anybody, especially men, if you going through it and you don't know how to deal with it, if you don't have no friends, go see the doctor, psychiatrist. Doesn't mean you crazy. Doesn't mean that you're weak. You got to take care of your mental state. You just got
Absolutely.
If you lose that, you don't got nothing. You don't nothing. So that's very important to take care of. You got to take care of your mental state. And
Miss Spicy, go ahead, bro.
Caller,
There you go. Here we go. Okay, where you at, bro? Where is you at? So we can get this out. We need to get this out the way. Let's get this on out.
She said, run, as fast as you can. You know I'm broke, ain't got no man, but I need that 40 in my hand, and I ain't gonna call you back again. It's early Monday morning. That's what I think the girl done got broke again.
I ain't playing with you, Mr. B. I'm not finna do this. You know he got to have it every time he come around,
I got to have it. Look, I said I got to catch him before it's over.
Mr. Carter, man.
Say hi to my nephew. All right, what's going on, fellas? What's going on?
Hey, nephew.
What's going on, sir? How you feeling?
All right, hey, I'm feeling like $1 million, baby. You know?
Yeah,
Dapper Don. If you not know why, Dapper Don.
Yeah. Got the suit and tie going on. Hey.
Nice. Yeah, I like. Hey, listen here. I like that. Listen here. I love seeing us in that status.
Exactly.
Because we look better when we do it. I ain't trying to say nobody else look bad, but we look better.
That's right. Me and my nephew shot. That's right. That's what our show is about too. And this is what we're supposed to be doing, helping young men. Yeah,
Yes.
man,
Exactly.
everything
Exactly.
done for me, brother. Straight up. You know.
Exactly.
And they should see my shoes. Oh, hold on. He wants you to see the shoes.
Make
Uh-oh.
show.
Okay.
That makes
Wait a minute.
put
We
them
got
on the
to
big
do a big
screen.
shot
Put
of
the
them
shoes
shoes
on the
now.
big screen.
We need a big
Hey
shot of
man,
those shoes.
what I'm gonna do is cut this off before I get fired. I see
Yeah, we
that.
don't want you to lose your job, Mr. Carlin. You gotta
All
pay
right,
those
Whoop,
bills.
whoop.
You gotta pay those bills.
Definitely do. Man, Mr. C, man, it was good to see you, bro. It was
Yeah,
good to see
I'm
you,
glad
definitely.
you was able to pop on. You know, we really do miss Mr. Carlin. He was able to pop on the show. Yes, yes. King D, did you give what you think about the young man, what he was saying?
Now he was speaking real facts because that's the whole drug thing. That's how a lot of people uh, start doing drugs because
Right.
they're numbing their emotions, they're numbing themselves.
Yeah, they are.
But when you come, that's what your alcohol is for.
I'm numbing man right there.
You numbing yourself right now. I got that feeling.
I'm numbing man today.
Hey.
Yeah,
Go ahead, King D.
huh?
Go ahead.
They're numbing their emotions. They're numbing everything.
Right.
Inside.
and you know what? The smoking with me is exercise. I don't drink or smoke, but I overdo the exercise just to help me, through my emotions and everything. So I'm always pushing, doing the exercises and things like that to where my body said, hey, look, enough is enough. You got to rest. But that is true. Some people, drugs, a lot of drinking, wherever they can do to numb the pain that they're going through, and everything. So we go through a lot. Women, y'all go through a lot, but trust me, men, we go through a lot every day.
Every day.
Every day. We go
And I
through
want to say something. I want to say something that's overlooked.
Yeah, what's that, Mr. Jones?
You see, I agree with women when they say that a mother's love for a child is unmatched.
That's true.
But I want to add something to that. And this is why a lot of men resort to things like this, because when you know you messing up, even though you want to do right by your woman, even though you want to tell her the truth about all things, even though you want to do the right thing by all things,
right?
A man's love for his woman is unmatched.
Amen. You right about that.
Like you might think you love your man more than he loves
you. I agree with you on that, Mr. Jones.
I think you're lying. But let's keep going. Let's keep going.
I agree with you, my brother. You are so right about that. And
Book they said men should never go through problems alone.
No, they should. You're right. They shouldn't.
Who?
Yeah.
Who do we turn to if the whole world is against us already because we?
Well,
and then we got women that some women. I'm not gonna say all women.
Yeah.
Some women that just don't. Long as you paying them bills in that house, they don't care about your emotions. They don't care about what you're going through. They don't care about none of that. As long as you bringing some money
you
in,
better
there,
say that.
they don't care. They don't care. And I said some women, Miss Book DJ. I didn't say all women.
China, that's China. Yeah, definitely not. China. Hey, you gotta put that Donald Trump on it when you say her name. You gotta be like China. So look, listen to me. That's why it's so important for a man to have the right woman on his team.
Amen.
Because he ain't got nobody else.
Say that.
He ain't got his mama. He ain't got his sisters. He ain't got his aunties. He ain't even got his daughters in some cases.
That's right. That's the truth, man. You're right about that, Mr. Jones. I mean, like I said, I agree with you 100%. You definitely a man definitely needs a good woman in his life because a woman can actually help the man when it comes to certain things in his life, especially mental. Now, like King D said, that's some women, not all, because some don't care about those getting those bills paid, getting the nails done. You worrying about doing this and worrying about that, then that's just more pressure added onto you taking care of the household that puts you through a lot, and that can give you mental problems as well because you.
Listen here. And they don't even listen. The problem there is they have the slightest clue about this.
You're right. A lot of them
You don't know. You don't even know. Listen, as a man, I'm telling you, women, you don't even know what he just said. He might as well have been speaking Chinese to a bunch of English speaking folks.
For real though.
You don't know what he's talking about.
No.
Because honestly and truly, like men, we have the world on our shoulders. We got kids that we need to feed and put shoes on, feed. We got put food in the house. We got to pay the bills, and then we got this crazy woman over here acting a nut. Come on,
not a nut. She got to be something else other than a nut. Now, come on now. I'm gonna be quiet. I'm gonna shut up. I'm muting.
I understand what you're saying. Even after all that, get your butt in here and make love to me right now.
Yeah, I can't get up because man.
Listen here, and not only that, you got to perform to performance level.
You got to be A1 every time.
Every time. Every time. I'm supposed to listen. I'm supposed to knock your back through the mattress every time.
Exactly.
Really, really.
I gotta say that. See, women don't understand when a man gets so emotionally wrapped up, and when you say, "Well, what's wrong?" Because he can't get it up, because he under a lot of pressure, mental and everything. That's why sometimes the men like, "Hey, I can't rock with you tonight because they ain't gonna get up."
Listen. A woman would think something is wrong with her. When you tell her, I ain't even thinking about that right now.
Exactly. Oh yeah, there's some of them.
The last thing on my mind right there. And see, and the maturity in the man. See, a woman ain't used to a man like, nah, I don't want none. They used to every time he wants some, every time you want some, he's supposed to want some. But you don't even think about like when the shoe is on the other foot.
Exactly.
And you don't want none, and you got your reasons why you don't want none, but he wants some, and you like, nah, that ain't even on my mind.
Let me tell you this, Mr. Jones, it's sometimes not that because they feel like, oh, you cheating on me. What the hell? I'm cheating on you.
Listen, oh my God. See, I know I ain't even gonna talk about that. Listen, I'm not, because I don't want to get hit upside my head. I'm cool. I know when to shut up. Listen. The police told me at a young age I had the right to remain silent, and I'm going to use my rights. That's what I'm going to do.
All right. Help your mind, help man. That's very true.
Hey, just keeping it real. We definitely.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep it. Listen, I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. If you're gonna keep it nothing else with you, because I feel like this. If you don't like me, you don't like me because of my facts.
There you go. It's
not. I'm not going to give you a reason to not like me because of my lies. I want you to not like me because of my facts. So when you walk away there, I say, "Hey, she got the facts.
Yeah. Tell her
I'm good on that." Yeah. I had to listen. I had to tell the facts earlier in my day. You see what I'm saying? When you got to put the facts on the table, and it's not to another woman on any level like that. I'm not saying any of that for the wandering minds. Put your mind in your back pocket and have a seat. I'm just saying, sometimes you got to put the facts on the table to people to give a person to understand it and a declaration to make an honest decision for themselves.
Amen. That's right.
You see what I'm saying? And when you give them that, when you give them the chance to make an honest decision for that, and if they walk away from you after you give them the Carfax, then you can say in honesty in your heart, in your mind, in your soul, shit, you walked away because of the facts.
Hey, you right.
You got angry at me because of the facts. You didn't get mad because of the lie. You got mad because of the fact.
Hey.
Oh, okay. That's a different story.
A lot of people don't want to hear the facts, Mr. Jones. They don't want to hear it.
And that's why I be listening. That's why I'm so seclusive on what I say.
You right about that. I had heard it before, seen it, and you are absolutely right. Right. I agree with you. Well, Be back. Oh, it's that time again. Hey, we're gonna be back in 2 and 2. We gotta take this last commercial break.
What she say? I said,
Hey,
I said,
Where my theme music at?
Yes. Thank you for tuning in to Grown Men Talking. We are very proud of our man on this platform, has done a fabulous job. We had a high recommendation to bring them back. So I do truly thank them for the work that they're doing and how they getting the word out there to help others. They have done a fabulous job. Tune in next week. They will be back next Friday, the same time. Make sure you tune in and set your notifications for tomorrow, the Unspoken Heart Discussion Hour. We will be discussing I Am Not Your Enemy.
All right. Before we close the show, I just want to thank Dominique King D for bringing this up. It was something that needed to be talked about because, ladies, men, we definitely go through a lot of stuff, emotional, mental, all that rolled into one. And I want to know if Mr. Jones have a word of wisdom before we go off the air.
Yeah, I do. And I have it in the form of a share of a short story.
Mm-hmm.
My dad, rest in peace, my heart, my soul. I love you to death, man. I miss you every day.
Mm.
He was a Golden Gloves boxer. He used to spar at Masjid Mariam. They got a boxing ring in the mosque. He used to spar with Muhammad Ali. That's how good he was.
Wow.
At 5 years old, I remember we stayed on 108th and Winthrop in the city of Chicago. We had a boxing ring in our basement.
Mm.
And any problems that the men had, if you was arguing with your brother, downstairs, put the gloves on.
Mm-hmm.
At this time, I was 4 and 5 years old, and my brothers was like 13 and 14 years ahead of me. So I would get beaten as a kid.
Wow.
But that beating that I took from 5 and up led me to be a great boxer.
Mm-hmm.
I have some martial arts training, and it was like one of my older brothers was like, "Man, you got really good with your hands." I said,
Mm-hmm.
"Yeah, I know y'all used to beat the hell out of me. That's how I got good."
Dang.
But on the flip side of that coin, because my brothers were such good boxers, my oldest brother, he was training to be a boxer because he wanted to fight Mike Tyson, but he ended up being a doctor. And my other oldest boxer, my other older brother that was training to be a boxer, he ended up being a business lawyer. So he's a millionaire and he lives in Canada.
Mm-hmm.
The moral to the story that I'm telling you is being around great fighters all my life. I was the one that said, I don't like fighting. I don't like it. But I used to say it in my mind. I never would say it out loud to my dad or my brothers or nothing like that because they
Right.
love the sport of boxing.
Right.
And that, if I would have said that, would have offended them and made them think that I was weaker. And so they would have tried to beat on me and fight on me until I like what they like.
Mm.
I know this personally.
Mm.
And so with saying that, I trapped myself into a life of trying to prove to my brothers and trying to prove to my dad that I was just as strong of a man as they were, but I was doing things ignorantly. And so I ruined a lot of my young life
Mm-hmm.
trying to prove to somebody something that I wasn't even.
Right.
And that's what's going on with a lot of men today. They're
Yeah.
trying to prove to you something that they're not.
Yeah.
We are just as weak, just as vulnerable,
Mm-hmm.
just as unhappy,
Yeah.
and just as emotional as things can get with you.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you look at things the way that I'm telling you, you will understand the men that are standing in front of you and you can pick them out easier, especially the ones with the macho bravados.
Mm-hmm.
They the biggest pussies out the bunch.
Oh, damn. Oh, damn. I
Damn.
hear you. I hear you.
I've been around men that were so strong that they've been in the gym and they didn't have enough weights to lift.
Mm.
They was that strong. You can lift everything in here.
Yeah.
Don't even matter. But guess what? In their secret moments of their life, they cried.
Oh, yeah.
I've sat with these brothers that looked. I sat with brothers that looked like action figures,
Mm.
My God.
and they cried. And they said, "Man, I wish I had somebody that would just understand that
Right.
I'm just a lost little boy trying to become a man, and I am taking on the role of the responsibility of a man, but I don't even know what a man is."
Mm. Mm-mm-mm.
That's what's going on with most men in this society. If you look around,
You're right about that. You
I'm
absolutely
going to
right.
leave you guys with that, and I love you all.
Hey, same here. Man, I just want to say this has been a very interesting show. And King D, I just want to applaud you for bringing this, topic so we can talk about it. Hats off to you, my brother. Glad that you did it. So that way women, other men can see that it's okay to cry. Just get help. If you're going through anything emotional, mental, or you just need to talk, there's an 800 number there. Maybe you want to reach out, just give us a call because, like Mr. Jones said, we just as weak as well. We go through a lot of stuff, and we humans. So with that
One
being,
more thing.
go
One
ahead,
more
Mr.
thing. One more
Mhm.
thing. I want to thank Spicy personally
Oh, most
for
definitely,
giving us this platform because
most
this is
definitely.
my therapy, y'all. This
Uh,
is what keeps that beast that I know that's within
right.
battled up. I love you, baby,
Yeah.
and thank you for giving us the opportunity to shine like we do.
Yeah, Spice. We definitely love you. Definitely love you for giving us a platform so we can definitely as men come together and just talk about certain things like this. And I appreciate that. And y'all, just one more fact, just tomorrow we'll all be back here on the Unspoken Hour. So please join.
Yes, we will.
And we thank you so much for being here with us tonight talking about this. We appreciate you guys. Keep watching us. And myself, King D, and Mr. Jones will be back here tomorrow with the ladies. So y'all just...
Mr. B also now. We can't leave him out.
Oh, yes. Mr. B, if he can join us, hopefully he'll be here too. So thank y'all so much. And King D, thank you for bringing this to the table for us to talk about.
All righty.